Hi everybody, it's Christina from Card Making Magic. Today we're going to be making a birthday card with the Lacey nested circles. Now these were designed to work with the 6x6 collection, but I'm going to add these to a 5x7 card. We'll use the birthday wishes and we'll use the Lacey ribbon number 1 along with stamp set number 1. So all my collection is available to buy at Craft Stash. So today my colour scheme is red and cream with a really pretty designer card that I'm going to add to the top. So with the card element, I have folded my base card in half and I've kept the non-cutting edge over the open ends, and I've run that through the die cutting machine. That will give me 2 pieces of card. So I need to bend one of them back by about 1/2 inch, glue along this edge and fasten them together, and that will give me a card that stands in 10th fold. Then with the next die down, which is the stitched edge, I have cut a mat in red, and that's going to sit on the top of my card. And then with the designer paper and the scalloped edge, I have cut another layer that will also sit on the front. So I've chosen to work with these 2 layers because the patterns are very similar and they work really well together. So with the circular dies, I'm taking the largest one and I'm going to cut 1 each of red and cream. So there's my 2 circles cut with the red and the cream, and all I'm going to do is just line these up together and cut them in half. Once you have them cut in half, you need to decide which you're going to layer up first. Are you going to layer up your cream first, and then the red, and then the cream and the red? Or are you going to do it the other way around with the red first? So it's entirely up to you, but whichever way around you decide to do it, whatever colour is at the top, you need to use your ribbon die to cut the opposite colour. So you're going to take this piece and this piece and cut these 2 together. So you're going to line this die up on your card and you're going to put the border edge on it. Run that through your die cutting machine, and then once you've done that and the card is cut, you're going to take this border off and you're going to place it on the other side along there, and again tape it in place so that it doesn't move and you end up damaging your dies or spoiling your card. So you're going to run that through again, and that will give you a piece then that is like this, and you can see the similarity in the 2 patterns, and that's why we're using these 2 particular dies. So if you've got the cream on the top there, you'll need the red ribbon to go across there, and I'll show you the cream one once I've cut this. So once they've been cut and you remove the dies, you will see that it's still fastened into the card, and that's because these don't have finishing edges. And so if you wanted to extend this, you could just add it back into a pattern and recut it. So I'm going to start my designs with the red, and I need to line them up so that the cream edge is just along this open red end, and then I'm going to glue that in place so that it's nice and tidy. So once you've done that, you're going to take your designer piece, your patterned piece, and you're going to add it to your stitched mat. And then you need to decide which way round you want to add these pieces. Do you want them to come from the top, from the side, or from the bottom? It's entirely up to you. Once you've decided where they're going, place them on your card, and I'm going to add mine with some foam tape underneath, and then from the other side I'm going to trim around these edges just to neaten the card up. Now from the die set, if you count the smallest die as number 1, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm taking die number 6, die number 7 and die number 8 from the set. These are going to cut this shape for me, and this is going to cut out my stamped sentiment. Now with some foam tape underneath the verse, I'm going to add this to the red panel, and these are going to go on the inside of my card. So now that we've done that section, we can get on and add the other piece to the front. So again, as I said, decide which way around you want it to go. I've added the ribbon at the bottom. Do you want the scallops to face upwards, or do you want them to face downwards? And the reason I'm asking is because we've stamped and die cut birthday wishes. So I have the vellum for the background to fit on, and I have these to fit on the card. Now, would they look better at the bottom or at the top? And I think really at the bottom. So I'm going to add this to my card this way around. So I've cut my sentiments several times, and I'm going to stack them all together. The parchment piece is already down, and they've all been run through the Xyron sticker maker just to make them all sticky on the back, and that makes them easier then to layer up onto each other on the card. So once you've added your birthday sentiment to your card, it gives it a nice depth because I've stacked them all up. But if you have any little bits of the glue from the Xyron stuck in between, then all you need to do is take a little brush and just very gently brush the glue out of the way, and that will just tidy up your card ready to give. Now, as a finishing touch to my card, I'm just going to add in some red sequins just in random areas along the card. So you only need a little bit of glue to keep those in place, and that just makes a nice effect on the front of your card. So there we have the card finished. It's got the verse inside, and that's a really pretty card to send, and that is flat enough to fit inside an envelope. So let's go ahead and make the envelope. So to make the envelope, you'll need 2 pieces of card the same, and you'll need to come back to the 5x7 box making kit. So take the largest piece for the box and add it to your card, and then take the stitched mat and add that to another piece of card, and you're going to die cut both of those out. Once you have all this die cut, you're going to remove all these small corner flaps. And then with the top 2, you're just going to shape the card to remove some of the bulk from when it's folded up, because you're going to fold it like so, and this has got to sit on the top. So we're just going to slant this from this corner down to this piece. Red card, I've taken the dies that I need to cut these shapes. So let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 will cut me that shape. 9, 10 and 11 will cut me this shape. Now then, this is going to go onto the front of the card, and this one is going to allow us to close the envelope at the back. So we're going to add this to our card, but we're only going to glue the bottom half, because what we want to be able to do is tuck that flap underneath. So there we are, glued to the bottom half, which leaves the flap loose to be able to tuck back under to close the card. And we'll add this to the front. Now if you're going to give the card, you can do it just as it is. If you wanted to add some red ribbon, you can do. If you're going to pop this in the post, make sure that everything is well glued down, and then just put an address label on the front and send that to your recipient. Make sure that the back is glued down as well. No, not just like this, because that would be able to be opened by anyone. So then once you've done that, you have your card that will just slip inside the box, close up, ready for you to give. So there we have our finished card and envelope, ready to send. And I've made these with the 5x7 card and box kit, the Lacey Nesting Circles, Birthday Wishes, Lacy Ribbon Border set number 1, and a stamp from set number 1 in the Sentiment Stamps. All my dies are available at Craft Stash. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please join me on the next one, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.